This is gonna be a long one. I'll be going super in-depth with these two characters where I will compare and contrast the strengths they both have to one another in an attempt to find out which of these two bottom-tier characters is actually the worst character in the game right now. Timestamps are provided for the categories in the comments, so please reference those if you want to skip ahead or only watch parts of this video. I don't expect most of you to stick around for the majority of the video, and I don't blame you if you don't, but to those of you who watch the entire thing, just know that holy fuck, you're the homiest of homies. So, for the one or two diehards who watch the whole video, thank you, I love you. Thank you very much to everybody who is just watching parts of the video. I don't really care if you just watch a clip or two, I appreciate the support regardless, but it's about to get super fucking nerdy up in this bitch, so yeah, let's go, enjoy. Kazuya versus Devil Jin. Battle of the bottom tiers. That's probably what I'm gonna call this shit. Battle of the bottom tiers, because these two guys are trash right now. Alright, after patch 1.4.0, these two characters seem to me to be at the very bottom of the list in terms of quality of character in Tekken 8. They're both very shit for different reasons, but also for a lot of the same reasons in terms of hitboxes. They both have shit jabs, for example. Devil Jin's is a little bit better due to its range hitting at 2.04, but Kazuya's whiffs after 1.90. So Devil Jin has a longer range jab, but the vertical and the horizontal hitbox of both these guys' jabs is probably the worst in the game. So they have the two shittiest jabs in the game. Kazuya's objectively is the shittiest jab fucking ever in Tekken. Even though Asuka's hits a little further back than Kazuya's at 1.82, she still has a better jab than Kazuya because at least it has a vertical hitbox. Kazuya's doesn't. So, in that way, I think Kazuya has the worst jab in the game, and there's an argument to be made for Devil Jin having the second worst jab in the game. Now, why are jabs so important? Well, they're your main go-to tool when you're trying to keep the opponent in check. It's your fastest move that you can possibly throw out at any point at 10 frames. So jabs are invaluable to have. Having a good jab usually means your character is going to be good. That's just, those two things go hand in hand. And the next thing in line after that would be the down forward one. If the down forward one is really solid, you're already looking at a lot of quality character content in that little box. There's already two boxes of the major boxes that need to be ticked. They've been ticked for the character if you've got a good jab and a down forward one that's not shitty. Characters like that you can take note of, like Leo, Dragunov, Fang, holy fuck. Guys like that, like the jab and the down forward one is top fucking tier, and guess what? Those three characters are top fucking tier. So what does that tell you? It's not, what I'm saying isn't bullshit. So when characters have shitty jabs and shitty down forward ones, they're already looking kind of shitty at that point. But it goes even further when we go into the detail of these characters. Kazuya and Devil Jin, for being Mishimas, demand a lot of heavy execution. They are the hardest characters in the game to use in terms of specifically talking about execution. And that's not debatable. Don't even try to fucking argue that stupid shit. These characters require the most execution over all the fucking characters, and saying otherwise is just silly, okay? You're not gonna look smart to anybody if you disagree with that claim. I'm not saying they're the hardest characters to pilot in the game in general. That's where people might get pissed at me if I said that. Well, even in fact, I'm gonna say it. Kazuya is 100% the hardest character to pilot, but, I'm not just sucking my old dick here. I think it's actually a fucking bona fide fact, considering he's getting his fucking ass kicked in Fujin and up ranks. He's like the second shittiest, next to Leo, fun fact. Leo players must just suck, I guess, because Leo's a really strong character. But Kazuya's getting fucking destroyed in higher ranks. So, it's not just me that's getting a lot of shit dealt with because of the character. Everybody is. Once you hit Fujin, you're in for a bumpy fucking ride. That's what it says in the data, anyways. I can leave a link to the data down below in the description if you guys, or in the comments or whatever the fuck. If you really want to check out the character win-loss ratio at that level, then feel free to see the graph for yourself. So you have two characters with shit jabs and shit down forward ones. Deviljin's being slightly better than Kazuya's on both sides. He's got a better jab and a better down forward one, but that doesn't fucking mean much when, I mean, they're still shit. So, Deviljin's eating a slightly smaller shit sandwich than Kazuya, but they're both eating shit sandwiches. So, at the end of the day, Deviljin's tools seem a little bit better on paper already. Okay, just going off this and this. The difference here is Kazuya's jab is shittier than Deviljin's. We're not even going to debate that, it's just the case. But you can argue that Kazuya's down forward one is maybe somewhat better than Deviljin's, because guess what happens if I actually hit Deviljin and then try to do a down forward one? You'd be surprised. Yeah, if he blocks my jab, he could probably still sidestep this. So sidewalk left is going to kill my down forward one. But sidestep left, you get fucked. So sidewalk left kills Kazuya in general. Everybody says sidestep left. It's not actually sidestep left. Sidewalk left beats Kazuya. Sidestep left, you're still going to run into a lot of problems. So, because Kazuya's down forward one, it might be 15 frames. It might be -9 on block. But his down forward one is actually pretty fucking good. Except it doesn't work in combos. It's got no hitbox in combos at fucking all. But in the neutral, it's actually not terrible. It has still somewhat of a hitbox in the neutral, but it has zero hitbox in combos. So I'm not talking about that move in combos, I'm specifically talking about it in the neutral. His down forward one in the neutral is effective. I'm not saying it's great, because it's still -9 on block, but it does have safe follow-ups with this shit. So, you know, that's not terrible that he's got these follow-ups. If you try to do anything, like sidestep after my down forward one hits you, or you block it, you're gonna eat this shit. Or you try to duck or something, you're gonna eat that. So Kazuya's follow-ups after down forward one are pretty good. You don't really want to do much after you block a down forward one, because he has these options, right? So you're not always going to want to take your turn right away, is what I'm saying. Even though his down forward one is -9, a lot of people will just not do anything. Keep in mind, though, on hit, it's +9. So if you get hit by a down forward one, you're fucked. You gotta just stand there and do your thing. So down forward one is pretty strong for that. If it connects, it's pretty fucking good. The issue that I have with down forward one is really just the -9. It's pretty trash, and also, I haven't said it yet, but it's 15 fucking frames. So we're not even really comparing the same thing right now. We're literally comparing move notations. We're not even comparing move archetypes. This isn't technically the same thing as what Deviljin's down forward one is. So, +5, right? It's +5 on block, or on hit. It's -6 on block. So, it's 13 frames. It's meant to be a poke. It's meant to keep the opponent in check, right? It's not meant to do the same thing that Kazuya's is meant to do. Kazuya's is meant to sort of prevent people from stepping. It's one of Kazuya's only tracking moves that isn't his homing moves, like this shit. Like, those are the moves that you're going to be using with Kazuya, you know, and then obviously instant while standing 2 from wave dash. You have to learn that. And those are his homing moves. So he's got nothing really in terms of tracking. So his down forward one is a great way to keep sidesteppers in check. Kazuya's down forward one, Deviljin's down forward one. Not really the two moves you should compare to one another, because Kazuya's down forward one isn't a universal down forward one. It's 15 frames to impact, and it's -9 on block. So it's already on paper really fucking shitty. But applied in real time, his down forward one is pretty good, because it's the one move he has that prevents some sidestepping against him. So it's good for that. Deviljin's is meant to be used as a poke. like just to create something in the neutral. That's all it's meant to be. Deviljin's down for 1 and Kazuya's down for 1, not the same moves, not meant to be used for the same things. Personally, I think Deviljin's is a bit better because having a 13 frame down forward 1 is always going to be better than having a 15 frame 1. Especially when Deviljin's is -6 on block, Kazuya's is -9 on block. Deviljin can still do back 2+4 for the armor move if he really wants, and he has the extension afterwards, right? If Deviljin wanted to, he could just down forward 1 into this this shit, right? So, the fact that he can do this, if I had to say, let's record this shit real quick. So I'm gonna do that and to that, right? That's actually kind of cool. So let's try this. Okay. I get fucked up for trying to retaliate, and he's at -6 because he's got that crazy armor move that's basically a parry. It's activated at the same time as a parry, right? Which I think is 4 frames in this scenario. Armor moves typically activate. I'm fucking stoned. I'm making this video stoned. Full disclosure. Armor moves typically activate in this game on the 7th frame of input, right? If jabs are 10 frames to impact, armor moves are engaged on the 7th frame. So they're faster technically than jabs. But this shit is fucking, or what I just showed you there, the fucking armor move that I showed you there with Deviljin is faster than that. I think it engages on the 4th frame. I tried it with several different moves just to see what works. I can jab, but he's already in armor by the time my jab connects. I can still block after I jab with Kazuya, but his armor still absorbed my jab, so I assume it activates actually on the 3rd frame, because if it already beats out the jab, then it must activate sooner. Jab usually will beat out armor if they activate on the same exact frame. So actually that means that yes, that armor move probably engages on the 3rd frame, which is crazy. So he can be -6 and set that shit up. Another reason that's sick is he can set this shit up with the same exact setup. Oh, that interrupted. That's fucked up. Oh, I must be timing it wrong. Oh, there you go. That was an immediate response. I was too slow with the down forward 4 initially. But anyways, yeah. If I try to down forward 4 immediately on my turn, after he hits me with forward 4 and I block it, then my down forward 4 gets eaten up by his armor. He's -6. It's the same exact scenario. So Deviljin at -6, not the worst thing in the world because that armor move exists, and so it deters people from wanting to take their turn. Besides doing a low or a throw, they can still beat it out that way. But regardless, it's still mindfuck. You're still playing with the opponent. The opponent's like, oh fuck, I gotta worry about Deviljin at -6. I don't usually have to think about that type of crap unless I'm going against Yoshimitsu, right? That's just Tekken. So you gotta kind of treat Deviljin like a mini Yoshimitsu in some circumstances. Because, Kazuya has the same kind of deal. But I can only do it, 2 fucking times? And then I'm out. I can't do it anymore for the rest of the fucking round. Deviljin has unlimited access to that shit. And that's a really handy thing to have in a game that's as aggressive as Tekken 8, where everybody is trying to take their turn back or keep their turn every fucking second of the match, right? It's such an aggressive fucking game. So when you have a parry like that, you are in fantastic fucking shape. And when your jab or your down forward 1 leaves you at fucking -6 and your parry activates on the 3rd frame, then you're doing pretty fucking good. You're in good shape. Deviljin's down forward 1 has more utility because of that. I'm not saying it's a lot, but I'm saying it's still something. It's still a reason why Deviljin's down forward 1 is obviously better than Kazuya's in most given scenarios. Not every scenario, because it will still whip against sidewalkers. It's completely linear. You can sidestep Deviljin's down forward 1 both directions. But it's 13 frames. So you have to be preemptively sidestepping before he hits the down forward 1 to dodge the thing. It's 13 fucking frames, so you're not just going to step it on reaction. That's impossible. So It's a good fucking move. I think it's better than Kazuya's for obvious reasons. And the armor move absolutely helps with that. His armor parry is fantastic. A lot of people ignore that Devil Jin has that, but he fucking uses that all the way up to Kudon's level of play. So if you're knocking that parry, I'm sorry, but you're a bitch. You don't know how to use the damn thing, and that's why you're knocking it. Go fucking watch some Kudon's matches. The best Devil Jin player in history abused the shit out of that parry. So, fucking no. Dude, it's a good move. And Devil Jin sets up for it with forward, forward, 4, and down forward 1. So he's solid for that already. Now, keep in mind, I'm not like trying to elevate Devil Jin to this crazy status, but I absolutely think in those two scenarios, he's better than Kazuya. He's still shit. His down forward 1 is still trash. Okay? So don't think that I'm saying like, oh, he thinks Devil Jin down forward 1's actually good? What a fucking dumbass. Just unsubscribe. Wait, I'm not even subscribed. Fuck. Alright, subscribe, then unsubscribe, because this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. No, I actually think his down forward 1's shit. Trust me. I don't like this down forward 1 at all. It's garbage. But is it better than Kazuya's? Fuck yeah, it is. And I just explained why. I don't think you even need to argue that. Next up, I want to compare their Demon Paw versus the Devil Fist. So, Demon Paw is this fucking move. Everybody should know this one. It's a fucking fan favorite. Why did you do 4-2 there? Come on, man. What the hell? I haven't set to do Demon Paw. This piece fucking CPU sucks ass. Alright, just keep doing that, you dumb fuck. Whatever, man. Broken ass game. Even practice mode dummies are fucked up in this game. It's crazy how shitty this game is. Right now. It's shitty now. Don't worry. It'll get better. Trust me. I love Tekken, and someday I'll be able to justify those words. But for now, I realize I love a shitty game. Devil Jin's Demon Paw is a great fucking move because it's a heat engager. It has decent range. The thing I want to talk about is this move's linearity. It's got good range. It doesn't hit quite as far as Devil Fist. Kazuya's Devil Fist actually hits a little further, this move, than Devil Jin's Demon Paw. But the trade-off is Devil Jin's Demon Paw will connect if I try to sidestep it left. Kazuya's Devil Fist doesn't track either side unless he's in heat. Then it tracks to Kazuya's right. So the way that you're supposed to sidestep Kazuya, sidewalk Kazuya, it actually tracks more to that side when he's in devil form. So it's a great move when he's in that form, but up until that point it's extremely fucking linear. Everybody talks about how Devil Fist tracks so much. Bullshit. So let's just see what happens. So I did it late there and it tracked. But if I do it right away, he's just sidestepping. He's not even sidewalking. So yeah, if I delay it, then it realigns because he's preemptively sidestepping. So when you see them connect, that's me doing it late and Devil Jin preemptively sidestepping. But the ones that are whiffing are a well-timed sidestep with the move itself. That doesn't work with Demon Paw. It connects on a much more frequent basis. Devil Fist will consistently whiff if you sidestep left or sidestep right. I can show you sidestep right, same exact thing, same sequence. This is the strong side, too. This is Kazuya's strong side. And I'm doing it fast, and I'm mixing up the timing here. So this shit actually whiffs very much. If you sidestep right, it's actually a lot shittier than if you sidestep left. But sidestep left is usually the way you want to go. But there you go. So if I delay it, then it connects. But he can step it consistently if he steps it well. And if he doesn't even need to step it well, he can just fucking take his leisurely time if he wants to sidestep right, for some reason. You can still sidestep some of Kazuya's moves to the right. It's not like a shitty direction to sidestep him. He's pretty fucking linear, but you mostly want to sidestep left because electric tracks to his left, so you don't want to fucking sidestep him right because electric. That's a good enough reason not to sidestep him right. And the Hell Sweep obviously tracks that way too, so don't sidestep right because his two best moves track that way. But Kazuya generally just gets fucking killed by sidewalk left, so if a sidestep left or right beats Devil Fist, then the thing that you're gonna do against Kazuya, sidewalk left, is gonna kill the move, right? It's just gonna, I won't be able to connect to this at all. There's just no way. If you sidewalk him left, he gets his fucking back. He's in my back already. This is ridiculous, and it's very romantic in a really shitty looking way. But, horrible. Let's change that scene real quick. But oh my god, this is terrible. Sidewalk left, and it beats his armor move too. Fucking terrible ass armor move, man. This move sucks ass. His armor move is its only fucking armor move. It doesn't track at all. It's just terrible. So I'm at +1 there too. Jesus Christ, man. It's pretty fucked up. Devil Fist is very, very linear. Fuck anybody telling you that it's not, because it really, really is. So Devil Fist, great fucking move. Awesome in the neutral for Kazuya. It is his neutral game, Devil Fist, and obviously the electric. So Devil Fist has better range and is totally linear to both sides, and Devil Gems will clip me if I try to sidestep left, unless I sidewalk left. Let's try sidestep left, and nothing. Okay. So sidewalk left works, but sidestep left into block. Yeah, it doesn't really track all that well to that side either, but it does track a little bit to that side. So the trade-off is Demon Paw gets some tracking to his right, and if you realign with a wave dash, which you're usually going to do, it realigns a lot. So you can it's going to be very hard to sidestep that move if you're trying to sidestep him left. So Devilgen's Demon Paw is better if you're trying to sidestep Devilgen left, and Kazuya's, you can sidestep either way. So Devil Fist has the range and the linearity, and Devil Jin has the Demon Paw that has less range, but tracks a little bit more to Devil Jin's right or your left, so sidestep left. So if you try to consistently sidestep Devil Jin left, then he can clip you with Demon Paw pretty easily. Especially if he's wave dashing in. The other thing I should mention is Demon Paw is a frame faster than Devil Fist. So Demon Paw actually comes out at 16 frames, or, well, 17 at tip range. It says I-15 on the bottom there, attack startup frames, 15 to 16 depending on the range. But you gotta factor in the double forward, so it's forward, forward 2. Forward, forward plus 2. So the extra forward is a single frame. So that means that Demon Paw comes out at 16 frames. Well, Kazuya, no matter what the range, it's always going to come out at 16 frames. And it means it comes out at 17 frames, right? So it's a frame slower than Devil Jin unless you hit them both at tip range, in which case they both have very, very similar range at tip range. But I think Kazuya's hits he's got a little bit of a, I don't know, the hitbox is weird. It's got a really fucking good vertical hitbox now. Devilgen's Demon Paw has like a better, obviously a better horizontal hitbox because it tracks better to the right. So, or to his right, sorry, not to the right. So they both really do the same thing, right? Kazuya gets an extension after he goes into heat, but they're both heat engagers, they're both decent damage, they both have long range, and they're both used in the neutral. Pretty much all the fucking time, and abused at every level, and they're both launchers when you're in heat. So they're really, really solid moves, very comparable. They both have their strengths and their weaknesses. If I had to pick one that was better, I would rank them like this. Kazuya's in heat is the best. and Deviljins, and then Kazuya's when they're not in heat. Because Kazuya's is slower and more linear, I think that actually factors in quite a bit. 17 frames to impact is not... You can sidestep that pretty easily, especially if you're already sidewalking him left. He has almost no tracking at all with Devil Fist, as you saw. I keep fucking hitting R2. With the fucking Demon Paw, it's not quite the same thing. It's a little faster, and it tracks better. So I think it's a better move in the neutral when they're not in heat, but when Kazuya's in heat, his tracks a fuck ton. So let's get Kazuya into heat. Okay, it still whiffs on sidewalk left, obviously, because if it tracked that well, it would be broken. So it doesn't track at all when you're sidewalking left. Let's try side step left. Wait, I'm not in heat. Okay, let's try out in heat again. Fuck. There you go. Got some pretty fucking good tracking in heat. Yeah, it can still whiff if they have a really well-timed sidestep, but it tracks better in heat than it does out of heat. So I think in general, because it has that extension and it tracks better, you can't argue that Kazuya's Demon Paw or his Devil Fist in Devil form is the best Demon Paw in the game, next to Reina's forward 4-2. Fuck that move. Holy shit. And really, Jin's Demon Paw kicks the shit out of both these guys. Fuck, his Demon Paw tracks well to both sides. Not well, but about as well as Deviljin's does to his right. Jin's tracks that well to his left as well, and it's got more range than both these guys. So, it's a fucking insane move, and it's got an insane fucking vertical hitbox. Jin's Demon Paw is the best in the game. And then I'd probably say Deviljin's than Kazuya's. But Reina's is up there too. If you can even call it a Demon Paw, I can't consider it a Demon Paw, but it's still forward 2, and it's better than all three of the other guys that I mentioned. So she's top 10 here on that one for good. All right, next up I want to discuss the Hell Sweep. His Hell Sweep, like the Hell Sweep for these guys is fucking insane. It's their go-to tool. Everybody knows the Hell Sweep. Okay, it's so obviously a brilliant fucking move. It's a great fucking move. It's the ultimate move, I would say, in terms of how to properly balance a move. The Hell Sweep is great for tracking to only one direction, so it's not homing, so you can beat it out in if you sidewalk left, and if you block it, the fucking Hell Sweep user dies. Kazuya dies. Deviljin dies because you launch the guy for 100 plus fucking damage. Unless you're these guys. Then you launch him for 80 to 90 damage. Fuck, dude. Fuck. Kazuya's Hell Sweep is arguably better than Deviljin's, is what a lot of people say anyways, right? If we're talking the internet, you know. I think this is a great fucking move. I think Hell Sweep is sick. Obviously. It's a great fucking move. Kazuya's best tool is electric, and then number 2 is Hell Sweep. If someone blocks it, Kazuya dies. But the trade-off is he gets incredible Oki, and Kazuya's... You saw that, right? Like, this is exactly how it would happen in an actual match, if I can do this shit. You would do this shit, into this shit, into this shit, into this shit, and then if you really want to, you can fuck him up with the instant while standing too. But that's a Kazuya 50-50. That's how you have to do his 50-50. Hell Sweep, instant while standing too. You can also forward 4-3, but it's extremely linear. This move is so fucking linear. Deviljin can sidestep this shit all fucking day. Just a little sidestep. Well, I'm +1 when I do this, right? So this is coming out at 20 frames. Sidestep right. Let's see if that works. Fuck, man. Sometimes I think you might want to sidestep Kazuya to the right. Oh, never mind. So the range matters. And how much you delay this move actually matters too. So if you're at point blank range from the jab, then don't sidestep that move right, because it tracks a little bit to that side if you're a little bit further away. But if you're right in his face and he goes for it, you can sidewalk or sidestep that shit right all goddamn day. 4-4-3 to me is, I'm coming in, I'm gonna do some movement, you know, I'll just fucking hit you with a jab, sidestep, and then maybe try to catch you with a 4-4-3. Like that's typically how I like to use them. It's good to catch crouchers who aren't sidestepping you. So it's brilliant for the 50-50. I'm not trying to knock anybody, but when you're playing in the lower ranks, it's a fantastic 50-50 tool. But once you start having to use this, it probably means you're in the blue or higher ranks than blue. Like high blue up to fucking the high ranks. So you do need to learn Wave Dash instant while standing too. It's a necessity for every Mishima player. For both these characters, not just for Kazuya. But Kazuya does have an easy mode option with 4-4-3 to launch the opponent with a mid. Deviljin doesn't have that luxury. So let's talk about his options now. So Deviljin's got a couple options. He doesn't have an easy mode mid, right? He's got just the Hell Sweep, and it launches. It's a great fucking move, because it launches. It's got decent Oki, it launches, and it even launches me on the ground. It will relaunch you at the wall if you're on the ground. And if I'm face up, feet towards, then it will launch me and then wall splat me. Isn't that fucking sick? It's fucking tight, man. And I'm not even kidding, that's fucking sick. The fact that Deviljin has that is pretty badass. Okay, he can relaunch you on the ground. Yes, if you tech roll the kick, the laser will whiff. So if I go to tech roll the kick right now, it's just gonna whiff. So you can get out of it fairly easily. You can just tech roll the kick, and then as soon as Deviljin goes for the laser, it whiffs. And then you can get a big whiff punish. But the fact that you can do this at all is pretty fucking cool, because that's a different level of Oki that not too many characters get to enjoy. He has fantastic Oki at the wall for that reason. That Hell Sweep is fucking incredible. So you don't really have a mid option to mix with this, with the Hell Sweep, right? With this Hell Sweep, you've got, some people might want to do CD3. Like, CD3 is okay. You could say that's a mid launcher. Sure. But is it actually? No, because you can fuzzy guard this shit. You can mix it with this. And this. The mid is, you can fuzzy guard it, and you can also sidestep both directions. It's an extremely linear move. So if I show you right now. So if I want, look at that shit. Extremely shit. And the low is even worse. It has no tracking at all. It's just fucking terrible. Doesn't matter which way I step Deviljin. Even if I get the step a little, like, preemptively or perfectly or whatever, I could be sidewalking him as he's wave dashing in. I'm sidewalking with the wave dash. This is the absolute worst scenario to be sidestepping. So there's no, like, what I mean by that is when you're just sidewalking at this capacity. By that I mean just at this pace. So I'm just doing one sidestep and I'm just holding the sidewalk, right? He's realigning with every wave dash. And I'm able to just keep holding the sidewalk. He's realigning with wave dash and then going for CD3, and it just whiffs every fucking time. Let's try doing this with this way, sidewalking him right, or this way is sidewalk left, but either way, I get his back every time. There's nothing he can do, that's all free. So, CD3, yes, it might be a good move against people who don't sidestep, and you're not going to see much of that until you hit maybe blue ranks. Well, I don't know, maybe high purples, I guess, start sidestepping as well. I'm not sure, I can't speak for them, so I assume they probably are. If you're purple rank, you're probably sidestepping. But, in general, when you're at the lower level of play, from, yellow up to red and even purple ranks, low purple ranks, I'm sure, a lot of people aren't going to sidestep, so CD3 is a good move. And then you get Mighty Ruler or Flame Ruler and you find out, oh fuck, you know, the players I'm fighting at this level are sidestepping and that move is shit. What do I do now? Like, what's my mix with Devil-Jin? Like, how do I fix the fact that I don't have the ability to do anything but Hell Sweep here? I have when I try to wave dash in, I've got nothing to threaten my opponent with, because I'm just doing Hell Sweep, so they can just always block. Well, obviously you have Demon Paw, right? Demon Paw is your fucking... If you're not doing this out of fucking wave dash, then you're just not playing Devil-Jin right. It's a fantastic fucking move, right? He's got up forward 4, I guess. You know, you could go in with that. That's a low crush mid. It's a pretty good move. You know, up forward, don't knock this shit. Like, up forward 4 is still amazing. The fact that it's still a heat engager, you know, and it launches. Fucking Devil-Jin's never had a launching up forward 4 before. That's a lot of fucking forwards. Up forward 4 before? Jesus Christ. He's never had that. A launching up forward 4? That's pretty cool. So, it's pretty freaking good in this game. It low crushes. It's great for that reason. But most of the time, you still just want to go with Demon Paw. Demon Paw is great. Now, what about when you're in the high level? What do I do then? Well, you're going to mix up, you're going to do the Hell Sweep, and you're going to mix it up with the other shit. So there's the Hell Sweep. Come on, DJ, do the thing. The instant while standing 2 that you saw there is what you're going to mix with the Hell Sweep pretty much as soon as you hit blue ranks. You have to learn this. You have to learn instant while standing 2. It's such an important thing to know with Devil-Jin because it's really the only decent mid option that you have that you can mix with the Hell Sweep. But then once you've mastered it, or you've gotten very consistent with it. I wouldn't say I've mastered it, but I'm consistent enough that I landed in matches consistently. And it's so important to learn, because the Hell Sweep doesn't track to sidestep left, but the instant while standing 2 does. The Hell Sweep does track to sidestep right, and the instant while standing 2 does not. Of course, if you try to realign it with a bunch of wave dashes and you're pretty quick with them, then you actually might get decent tracking on both of those moves to both sides, but I'll show you a little bit of that here. So let's just let Devil-Jin do his thing. I'm going to try sidestepping left first, or side walking left at the end of his wave dash. So 1, 2, 3. Side walking left is getting fucked up by instant while standing 2 pretty consistently. I'm trying to sidestep at different times here. Even the Hell Sweep, like I said, it has only good tracking to sidestep right, but you can still, you can sidestep instant while standing 2 with a perfect sidestep left as well, or side walk left as well, but it clips you a lot more than you think. Your sidesteps are not going to be this fucking perfect in a match most of the time too, right? You're not going to know when their wave dash is over. So that's the scary thing about wave dash pressure. It's realigning with you every step of the way, and the fact that Devil-Jin has one move that's scary as fuck that tracks you the one way, and then the other way, the sidestep, or this fucking sidestep, the Hell Sweep, doesn't, kills you when you try to sidewalk him right, because you're trying to get away from while standing 2, but it seems to be tracking me both directions. Holy fuck, man. So, what I'm trying to say here is, Devil-Jin's 50-50 from Hell Sweep is terrifying the same way Kazuya's is. For the same reason. They both have while standing 2s, and they both have Hell Sweep. While standing 2, as you saw, instant while standing 2 tracks somewhat to Devil-Jin's left, and a lot to his right. Right? And Hell Sweep is the exact opposite. Somewhat to his right, but a fuck ton to his left. So, same thing applies to Kazuya's Hell Sweep, but his while standing 2 is homing. Tracks fully. However, it's minus 18, so if the opponent is good and they block it, Kazuya gambles with his life. He's dead regardless, the only character that can't launch 18 frames easily is Steve. He can't launch 18 frames at all. But Kazuya is dead against every other character in the game, and Deviljin only gambles with a -12 move. So if you block his while standing 2, Deviljin eats maybe a jab. If the opponent is somewhat on point, somewhat sloppy, they'll get a jab punish. Maybe they'll give you a 12-frame punish, but most of the time, you'll eat a couple of jab punishes from getting while standing 2 blocked. Big fucking deal. I'll go with that shit all goddamn day. Deviljin gets a 73 damage combo that's really freaking tricky to do, but once you master it, 73 damage combo consistently, with decent fucking Oki options from it as well, for a little bit of damage sacrifice, and it's only -12, and it tracks decently to the left and to the right. Like, damn, dude. Deviljin's 50-50, in my opinion, is better than Kazuya's. Kazuya's and Deviljin's 50-50 often get compared to one another because they're very similar. You have Hell Sweep and Instant While Standing 2 with both of them, and they're both extremely effective. And they're both terrifying, 50-50, because they're 50-50 monsters. Both these characters, that's Mishima style. That's how you play these characters. I think Deviljin's a little scarier, though, because he has better options. I would much rather have a while standing 2 option that is only -12 versus -18 fucking instant while standing 2 with Kazuya, even if it's homing. Yes, he has forward 3, but a lot of the time people are going to be sidewalking you left, which beats forward 3 and Hell Sweep. So, at that point, Kazuya's 50-50 is not scary. You sidewalk Kazuya left, everything he has, you dodge. So, it's not... I don't think that forward 3 can really be made to be called into argument here as a tool for the 50-50. Forward 3 is going to be used in a different way that I think is better suited for the move. So it's for all the things I just mentioned that I think, personally speaking, Deviljin has a slightly better 50-50 than Kazuya. And I think it's pretty safe to say that, right? He's still got Demon Paw, Kazuya has Devil Fist. So they have similar options from a wave dash into a 50-50 scenario, especially from a knockdown. So, which includes a little bit of Oki, which we'll discuss a little bit later. But the thing about Deviljin's 50-50 is he just has a safer mid option. That's all it is. It's a safer mid option, which makes it better. So it's not that much better. They both are insane 50-50 monsters in this game, but Deviljin, I'd say, he would take the cake in a real match, in my opinion. But talking about the forward 3 again with Kazuya, this shit, let's discuss power mids a little bit. So power mids are usually segregated into 2 different archetypes. You got your power mids that are just really strong mids, plus on block, that are fucking, you could just hammer them home with it all day. Dragunov has back 1+2, quarter circle forward 4, quarter circle while running 2, sorry. Dragunov has power fucking mids. Deviljin, he's got the Morning Crow 1. He's, that's pretty decent mid. Kazuya's got forward 3. He's also got this shit right here. It's an okay move if you don't sidestep it, but it's a power mid. It's got really decent. It's +11 on block. It's a good fucking move. But it's either they're really plus or they launch, right? Or they have some other property about them. Either they launch on counter hit or they launch on normal hit. But that's usually what a power mid is. A mid you could kind of abuse to some extent that has really good benefits to it and not a lot of risk. That's a power mid, right? And Kazuya's, I think, he's got a couple. He's got the Devil Fist that we talked about in forward 3. Very strong mid. It's a power mid for sure. It's a fucking launcher. It's slow. It's 20 frames to impact, 22 at tip range, which means it's 23 at tip range, or 21 in the neutral. So it's got decent range on it. 443 is no slouch. 2.73. Yeah, so 2.75-ish range is what it has. For Deviljin's hitbox, it probably hits Xiaoyu further back, so it's probably got like 2.5 range against Xiaoyu. It's decent range. 2.5 range isn't bad for a 443. Well, it's a good move. You know, you can't say it's not. It's a fantastic fucking move. It's great for neutral. You can certainly wave dash into it and catch people with it. Especially if you know they're not sidestepping, then go for this out of a wave dash every fucking well, not while running 3. Yeah, you can certainly go for it out of a wave dash, but, you know, people are going to sidewalk you left as soon as you start wave dashing in, so be very careful of that. And if you think they're crouching, which is usually what you're going to do, you're going to knock someone down, you're going to run in, and then you're going to do whatever. You're going to maybe hell sweep, or you're going to do a 4-4-3, or whatever. If you think they're going to crouch, because maybe you've seen them crouch a lot, getting up after being knocked down from whatever, not necessarily a combo scenario, maybe at the wall or something. This is a decent fucking move. 4-4-3. Fantastic fucking move. It launches on normal hit. I mean, what more do you need? The equivalent, though, with Devil Jin isn't really a thing. He doesn't really have a move you can compare to 4-4-3 with Kazuya. For power mids, Devil Jin has other things in different avenues, like from his Morning Crow stance, as I said. He's got, you know, you can just do this type of shit. You can just come in with this at any point, you know? You don't have to just... You can wave dash into a Morning Crow and then come at him with a Morning Crow 1. It's a very slow move. It's, you know, 20 frames to impact, not including the stance. So Morning Crow 1 is a very slow move. Very easy to sidestep, but because he has Morning Crow 2, not many people are going to sidestep you when you're in Morning Crow stance. You're going to come in with a Morning Crow 2, and you're going to track them both to both sides, because as you can see, that little swipey motion thing there, the green marks represent homing moves, as we should all know, right? Morning Crow 1 doesn't really track to either side, so, you know, you can use that as his power mid, but it isn't really his power mid. What I would say his best power mid move is forward, forward, 4. This move is so good. It's plus 16 on hit. It launches on counter hit. It low crushes. It's not that slow at 20 frames, and it's got decent fucking range. Hits from fucking across the street, man. So about range 4, and keep in mind it's against Kazuya, so it's not necessarily the best hitbox evaluating scenario, but we'll get an idea of how decent the range is for 4-4-4. At range 4, it connects. So, range 4, by the time I start inputting the inputs for it, if I'm at range 4, it's gonna at least connect on block, right? The trade-off is it's very fucking linear. So, if I try to do this after any type of move, I can just get it easily sidestepped, like no questions asked. It's about as linear as 4-4-3. I get Devil Jin's back no matter what happens, so it's a very linear move. They're both extremely linear moves, 4-4-4 versus 4-4-3. Don't get me wrong, in this scenario, we're talking about the power mids, I think Kazuya wins this one. I think it's pretty clear cut. He's got a better mid-neutral game than Devil Jin does. But that doesn't mean that his mid-neutral game is trash. Devil Jin's mid-neutral game with his power mids is pretty fucking good, and he has options. And a lot of that has to do with his tracking ability, which we can discuss a little bit later. But Devil Jin's power mids are nothing to shake a fist at. Kazuya's are a little bit better because he has 4-4-3. But all the other options Devil Jin has are very comparable to Kazuya's. So, I gotta say Kazuya wins this one, but Devil Jin's not far off. Surprise, shirt change. Megadeth's better than Metallica anyways, so. Next up, I want to talk about neutral game and evasion with both characters here. What do we typically do in the neutral? Well, in Tekken, neutral game is usually moving around the stage and jab checking and poking. So, if characters have poking ability, then that makes it so that they have a bit better of a neutral game than the characters that don't have necessarily the best pokes in the game. So Devil Jin's pokes, you know, this is the kind of shit you're gonna see Devil Jin's doing in the neutral. And then he's gonna do this kind of shit, and then, you know, probably do this to whiff punish people. Like, this is Deviljin's neutral game. Heat engagers and pokes. And tracking moves to keep them very much in check, right? So, and we'll talk about the tracking a little bit later, but the neutral game, very strong with Deviljin, as you can tell right there. A lot of the moves that Deviljin's going to be doing in the neutral game include a lot of natural evasion as well. Deviljin has somewhat decent evasion with shit like this. This is not a good move by any stretch, but you can get away with this trash. Absolutely, you can get away with this trash. Into a freaking shitty-ass combo, you know, whatever the fuck. This is natural evasion because this high crushes at the start of the animation, and it low crushes at the bottom of the end of the animation, right? So it's just, it evades all things. Now, I don't think you should be using it past blue ranks. Like, when you hit blue ranks, you should probably stop using that move. You get fucked up for it hardcore. It's very punishable. I think it's, what, minus 25 on block? Anybody can punish it. Even Steve. Launch it, I mean, by punish it. He can launch it. So don't fucking do that move. It's a shitty move. But I 100% think the evasion in it is why it's so appealing to the lower level players, because it's a panic button. It's a move that Deviljin can use to get out of jail free, pretty much. You don't have to rely on your own fundamentals or your own skill as a player. You can just hit the panic button up 4 and Deviljin gets the fuck out of there. And oh hey, it connected, he gets a combo now too. That's kind of a cheesy ass move for Deviljin to have. He's got a couple other moves like that, somewhat similar. This move here, back 3, is absolutely absurd when it comes to evasion. It's extremely linear. I can just do a mini step to any direction and evade the whole thing entirely. I get Deviljin's back. So, there's nothing he can do. This is a full punish. So, I don't know. I think Deviljin is very well off when it comes to evasion. Because look at that shit, you know? So even my Devil Fist, if I time the Devil Fist wrong, it will beat out the Devil Fist. It's got range that beats out Devil Fist. It's crazy. This has great range. The Devil Fist can win on certain scenarios when you time it correctly, but for the most part, you gotta stick to long-range moves like that to beat this shit out, or punish this shit on block, because it's hella punishable. But it's natural evasion. A lot of lower level players use that move, and you know what? It works in a lot of other ranks too. I'm not going to say it works necessarily in the gold ranks or the tournament players, but that crazy evasion justifies the minus 16 or minus 17 on block that it is. Back 3 with Deviljin is ridiculous. So, and it's a heat engager too. So I don't think you should abuse it, because you'll get fucked up for it super hard, but it has some serious evasion, and it's a get-out-of-jail-free card for Deviljin that he can use in the neutral. That's a reasonable way to put that move. That's something that Deviljin has that I think Kazuya lacks, is natural evasion in his toolkit. The other one that I think we could talk about here, up forward 4. Pretty good move. Pretty linear. Step in either direction. Unless you're slightly off axis. But yeah. In fact, it's actually better to sidestep this to the right. It clips you somewhat if you have a shitty, sloppily done sidestep left, but you can be sloppy as fuck sidestepping right, and it will not hit you no matter what. It's actually ridiculous how many moves Deviljin has that are part of his main toolkit that are just so good at beating sidestep left. I mean, like, everybody says sidestep or sidewalk left the Mishimas. I think you should sidestep Deviljin to the right. From all these moves that we're showing here, they track more to his right than they do to his left, so you should sidestep them right. I don't know, it's just my evaluation in doing these practice sessions. So it's pretty crazy how many moves Deviljin has that track to his weak side, which is not obviously his weak fucking side. But up forward 4 is a decent move. It's a launcher now. It's a heat engager. It's a launcher only in heat, obviously. But it's honestly just a weaker Demon Paw, but the evasion is the property I'm talking about. It's a fucking low crush, so I don't really have many options here. Like, you see, my down 4 comes out right after his jab, and it crushes my down 4. So it's a low crushing move. He's got natural evasion. This is stuff I'm just referring to good moves Deviljin has that are part of his toolkit that create scenarios where Deviljin doesn't necessarily have to think. You can just use these moves as a get out of jail free card. I think he's going to go low here, but I'm not sure. Here's a safe bet that kind of option selects a low and maybe also a throw. And, you know, if he's going to not do anything at all, this is also safe. So it's one of those moves where it covers a lot of bases and you don't have to think very much when you're doing it. You can just kind of do the move, and whatever the consequence is, you're okay with it because it's never bad. It's never not in your favor in some way. I mean, Deviljin loses his turn, but he could have potentially crushed a low, went into heat, and fuck, his heat's pretty good. This is another move that I think Deviljin players underutilize. It's a 14-frame heat engager, and then it becomes a launcher or deals heavy chip damage at the wall. It's Deviljin's equivalent to Kazuya's back or down back 1-2. That's what this move is for Deviljin. It's not as spammable in the neutral, but you can use it a lot more as a punish because, well, not a lot more as a punish, but you can use it as a launch punish in heat at 14 frames. Or you can use it for crazy chip damage at the wall and pressure. Or you know, it's a really fucking good move, and a lot of people don't use it. You can use it as a fantastic whiff punisher because this move tracks actually ridiculous, crazy amount to the left. Even if I sidewalk the thing, I'm sidestepping, but then the sidewalk loses to the 3 because the 3 catches you if you don't block. So it kills the sidewalk. And if you don't sidestep perfectly, then the back 2 will clip you. You have to sidestep this right. So it's a great move to throw out if people are sidestepping you to the left a lot. And it's a great move to throw out if you want to whip punish somebody at long range, because it does reach pretty far. It's not too bad. It's got decent range on it. Especially when you connect with the second hit, all things considered, it's a decent move. I don't know. More people should use that in the neutral, especially in heat. It becomes a fantastic move in heat, specifically. Maybe not so much in the neutral, but definitely when he's in heat. So I think that's like his new heat smash. That or 442, Demon Paw, which is another tool that Deviljin's going to use in the neutral. And of course, down back 2 is fucking sick. Kazuya can launch it, but not really any other characters can because he recovers in crouch. So Eddie doesn't get a 13-frame launch for this, but it tracks very much to the side that you normally are supposed to step Mishima's. I don't know, that's kind of weird, man. I feel like we should be stepping Deviljin to the right. We really should. I mean, this has decent tracking both sides, honestly. But it is definitely a lot more susceptible to sidestep right. Well, sidewalk right anyways. Sidestep right, this will clip you if you sidestep right. Fuck, this is a damn good move, man. And on top of that, it's a freaking high crush. The frames that he starts high crushing at are almost immediately. Down back 2 is underrated as a move. People say that Kazuya's down back 4 is better, but he doesn't crush shit when he's doing down back 4. You also get a follow-up if it connects on counter hit, which is pretty sick. So yeah, down back 2, solid fucking move. Everyone's gonna be using this shit in the neutral. It tracks about as much as Kazuya's down back 4. It's +3 on hit, -13 on block. I don't know. I think it's as good, if not better, than down back 4 because it high crushes. The high crushing ability of this move is what makes it, what elevates a little bit higher up. It has natural evasion to it that Kazuya's moves just don't have. So, fantastic neutral tool because it gets him out of the fucking way. And it gives him advantage. It's just fantastic for multiple reasons. Now with Kazuya, the neutral tools you're going to be using, obviously similar to Devil Jin, you know, his down forward 1, we're not going to be doing that a whole lot for, you know, trying to build pressure or anything like that. Whereas Devil Jin's, you can kind of use it to some extent. Devil Jin's down forward 1 will actually track if you sidestep right. Not very well, but it does track a little bit, and sidestep left kills it, so I don't know. That's a good move to keep people in check because it's 13 frames, it's a solid poke, and you can mix it up with down 3 and down back 2 and all this stuff, so it's a decent keep them in check poke along with jab and all that stuff. What does Kazuya have for that kind of stuff? He's got, well, if I want to keep them in check, I just kind of have to jab. I can down forward 1, but if they block my down forward 1, my turn is fucking over. I'm done. Devil Jin's at -6. He can still play around a little bit like we talked about earlier. Kazuya, it's just over. My opponent has to be, well, I have to respect my opponent, so what do I have in place? Well, Kazuya has to do an electric, and I haven't really warmed up, so my execution is shit, but I switched to PlayStation 4 controller, and things are a little bit nicer. So the thing that I'm saying here is that Kazuya basically uses his electric as his poking tool. Like, he has to. Sidestep, whiff punish electric. You know, backdash, electric. Something, you know, you did something stupid, electric. He has to go with electric. And Devil Jin has more options in the neutral, I think, especially when it comes to evading the opponent. When it comes to natural evasion, get out of jail free cards in the neutral, for Kazuya, he's got down 1+2, fantastic fucking tool. But down 1+2 is fantastic for multiple reasons. Evading the opponent, it is a counter hit launcher, so, you know, it's got its fantastic benefits for that reason. It's pretty fucking sick. But the other thing about down 1+2 is it's pretty much his only get out of jail free card. You know, he used to just, well, a lot of people think he should still use just down forward 2 in the neutral. I don't agree with that because it's -12 on block and everybody's going to punish that. So, not necessarily a good idea. And it has no evasion at all. This crushes nothing. This is his panic button. No, it's not. It does nothing. It just keeps him standing, and it's 14 frames, counter hit, mid, homing launcher. I think that's a fantastic set of properties for a move to have. But down forward 2, in place of down 1+2, I don't think so. I think go with down 1+2 if you're in panic mode. You don't know what the fuck else to do. Down 1+2. It'll crush highs, and it counter hit launches, so it's fantastic for that. And it's just a good low in general. It's +3 on hit. This is basically the equivalent to Devil Jin's down back 2, except it's better than Devil Jin's down back 2 in that it launches, but Devil Jin's down back 2 high crushes almost instantly, and this down 1+2 high crushes on the 5th frame. So it's not as good at evading as Devil Jin's down back 2, but it does more things than Devil Jin's down back 2. Although it tracks fucking nothing. Like, this move does not track well at all. So the typical counterplay for Kazuya is sidewalk left. The dummy's gonna sidewalk left, and we're gonna get him to fucking dodge the down 1+2. It's pretty fucking easy. I think it can clip you if you sidewalk it right, but we're about to find out. So yeah, if you're at a specific range, it can clip you. Like tip jab range, it'll clip them. So just sidewalk it left. But yeah, as for natural evasion, that's pretty much it for Kazuya. He doesn't really have anything else. Electric evades a little bit. Like it can high crush jabs sometimes. So you can definitely say that his electric is part of his natural evasion, but Devil Jin has that too, so I thought I'd not even mention it. Deviljin's actually got a slightly better electric than Kazuya does because it tracks slightly more to both sides. So if I try to get him to do electrics now, and I'm sidestepping it right, which is not the direction you typically want to sidestep electrics, but you can see it's clipping me. My sidesteps are not timed appropriately, but if I time it really, really well, I can sidestep it perfectly. You have to be perfect with the sidestep right. And even then, you shouldn't sidestep block. Just let the sidestep complete itself. That way you'll have the biggest motion of range. Range of motion, is that what it's called? That way you'll have the biggest range of motion. But if I sidestep left, oh fuck, it kicks my ass. He's actually got a little more tracking to the Mishima weak side. So, I don't know, this is a pretty fucking solid electric. Now I want to go over Kazuya's electric real quick. So, I'm gonna set Deviljin to sidestep right. So if I start from round start range and he tries to sidestep it right, if I time the electric perfectly, he can get clipped by it. So it has to be a delayed electric. It's got to be a preemptive sidestep. But Kazuya's electric doesn't track as well when you sidestep it to the right. What happens when you sidestep it left? Yeah, so Deviljin gets clipped every time he tries to sidestep the electric left. You have to either sidewalk it left or sidestep it right to dodge it more consistently. With Deviljin's sidestep right isn't going to beat electric every time. It tracks slightly more to sidestep right, so he has a better electric in that sense. So, not only does Deviljin have better neutral game and evasion in his move list in general, but he has a better electric than Kazuya does, and Kazuya's electric is his go-to main tool in the neutral. So you're going to give Kazuya's best tool for his character shittier properties than his counterpart with Deviljin? I don't know, man. That's... To me, it just says that Deviljin has the better neutral game of the two. Like, and we'll go more into this when we discuss tracking and all that, but so far, in my opinion, this is absolutely bona fide truth. Both these guys don't necessarily have the best of neutrals for this game, because it's a fucking pressure-heavy game. You need to be pressing buttons at all times to do anything effective in this game. It's a non-stop attack game. And these characters are more defensive. They definitely excel a lot more when you try to attack into them and they're able to counterplay. But there's not a lot of counterplay in this game, which makes characters like these, suboptimal, especially for things like tournaments and not long sets. So either way, these guys have shit neutrals is what I'm saying, compared to most of the rest of the other cast. But between the two of them, I have to give the neutral game to Deviljin, just because of everything we've already talked about, and what I've just discussed now with his natural evasion. He has multiple get-out-of-jail-free cards, for example. Kazuya has one, and it's solid, but it's really fucking good, but it only gets him out of one scenario. Deviljin has things for multiple scenarios, and he can take his pick of the litter, pretty much. So next up I want to talk about tracking with Kazuya, and then a little bit more about Deviljin, but we've gone over quite a bit of Deviljin's tracking already, just in his neutral game just now. His poking has a lot of tracking. Sidestep right is pretty good against Deviljin, but sidestep left beats a lot of options too, like his down forward 1 and his hell sweep. Kazuya is pretty much dead to sidestep, or sidewalk left, I should say. Sidestep left, you can still kind of catch people that just try to sidestep you left, because electric is so decent with tracking in that direction. So if they do a larger sidestep, like a mini sidewalk, they'll evade you pretty much entirely. Everything is beaten with sidewalk left with Kazuya. You can just kill Kazuya outright. Well, obviously not down 3, but down back 3, even down back 4, which is supposed to have decent tracking, just gets fucking eaten alive by sidewalk left. It's crazy. A well-timed electric, well, a well-timed any move can catch somebody sidewalking you left, but it's very hard to do so. The go-to tools Kazuya has to beat Sidewalkers is this shit, right? So, his homing moves. You know, his while standing 2, his down forward 2, his back 4, and obviously the while standing 3 is good, but this is 21 frames to impact from a crouching position. So this is technically his safest homing move is this shit. You can do it out of a wave dash, and you don't have to crouch cancel like you do with instant while standing 2 there. You can just kind of do it. So it's great for that reason, but back 4 is your go-to homing move, because down forward 2, as great as it is, it's minus 12. You don't really want to be going in with a minus 12 unless you know it's gonna hit. Which, this shit is minus 5, so you can fucking just throw out back 4 all day long, and as long as they don't duck you, if they're sidewalking you and you notice they're not sidewalking into duck, then back 4 is a fantastic option. And it's a heat engager too. So, I mean, you're going to want to use back 4 anyways for that reason. But the fact that it is pretty good for homing. Another move that I could say is decent for tracking is down forward 1, 2. The second hit realigns a sidewalker. So, only issue is the second hit is a high, so that, yeah, again, they can duck it. And if you try to go for the extension, or the mid-extension, it whiffs entirely. If they sidewalk you right, or sidewalk you left correctly is what I mean by that. So, Kazuya has pretty much zero tracking when it comes to his arsenal in general. He doesn't all his go-to moves lose to sidewalk left. That includes Hell Sweep even. Like, I can't connect with Hell Sweep, so sidewalk left at pretty much any range is gonna be... Yeah, it's gonna be hard to down forward 4 whiffs, down forward 3 whiffs, like the moves that Kazuya players typically throw out in the neutral, that shit all whiffs at sidewalk left if you time it appropriately. And a lot of those moves whiff to sidewalk left even without appropriate timing. You can just be sidewalking left very leisurely and Kazuya's shit will whiff, like down back 4 is known to whiff to just casual sidewalkers. Electric is a little more consistent for casual sidewalkers. It'll clip them if they're already in the middle of their sidewalk, and then you go to electric, you'll most likely connect with them. But in general, Kazuya's tracking is garbage. That's what makes him so difficult. You have to learn how to wave dash into your opponent and, you know, do things out of wave dash. So if you're gonna, you know, this is how you beat a sidewalker. You gotta make sure you wave dash in, and even then, even wave dashing in, your Hell Sweep can still whiff if they're sidewalking you. So you really do have to vary your timing, and varying timing is a technique that you don't really pick up as a concept to use regularly until you hit the gold ranks. Like, I don't really see anybody really below Tekken King doing a lot of timing variation. Everybody's just sticking to what their ideal timing is. Like, this is the timing that I use for every matchup, and I do this move after this move, and it's not necessarily flow charting, but there's a lot of even high blue rank players that I've noticed who don't vary their timing really at all. And so it is a high level technique. And that's what you have to do in order to play Kazuya effectively, because his tracking is so shit. Back to Deviljin now. His tracking is much better than Kazuya's, as we've already displayed on screen from you know, the neutral game and the pokes and all that shit. Like we said earlier, he has good tracking to his left and somewhat decent to his right. But the issue with Deviljin is you don't necessarily need to use his homing moves to track very well, because he's got this shit. He's got Laser Scraper, which tracks both sides consistently. Like, I can sidewalk this shit left, and it will always clip me. And it's not a homing move. You can step this. Just not with Kazuya. So, and Kazuya, let's be real, Kazuya's movement in general is pretty below average. It's not awful. But his backdash is really nothing to write home about. He's got very average backdash, and his sidestep is below average for sure. There's actually a video on YouTube for what characters have the best sidesteps in the game, and Kazuya's was shown to be quite below average. Devil Jin's is a little bit better than Kazuya's, so the fact that he has better movement, maybe it's possible Devil Jin could, with a perfect sidestep, step this move. But really, the only characters I know that can step this move consistently on reaction anytime they want pretty much is Lily and Zafina. Those are the only two characters that I've seen that can do that very consistently. Lily, especially, she can sidestep pretty much everything in the fucking game. If the move isn't homing, she can step it. But Devil Jin enjoys a lot better tracking than Kazuya because he has access to the fucking move that everybody loves, Laser Scraper. He's got the extension from it as well. This extension is fantastic because both hits track both directions. It's insane. With a perfect sidestep, I should be able to sidewalk this left. The extension anyways. Yeah, with a perfect sidewalk left, I can sidewalk the second hit. But the first hit is always going to hit me. Sidewalk left, the first hit still gets clipped by, you get clipped by the first hit, and then the second hit is guaranteed. If you get hit by the first hit, second hit's guaranteed. Laser Scraper is a fantastic move. The two hits are -10 on block if you connect with the second hit on block, but if it connects, it's +1, so you get to continue your momentum, and on top of that, no one's going to press any buttons, they're just going to try to sidestep you right after the second hit. This is usually what most people do, because the third hit is, you can dodge completely if you just sidestep it right. But in that scenario, you're sidestepping, you're not going to be able to connect with a jab right away. By the time you sidestep right and then retaliate with a jab, Devil Jin will have recovered from the animation and he's able to block at that point. So you're just able to take your turn back. So what that means is sidestep right doesn't necessarily beat all those options, and you don't always want to try to jab punish Devil Jin, even though I can punish Devil Jin from there. If I go to try to punish Devil Jin after that, he's gonna kill me with the fucking demon paw that comes out at the very end, so I have to try to sidestep him right here. Then I can take my turn back, but I have to be quick. We already covered this earlier in the video when we talked about specifically demon paw. Great move because it tracks the sidestep left, but if you sidestep it right, it completely whiffs. It doesn't track that well. Demon Paw is just kind of whatever in this game for Devil Jin. Especially compared to Jin's Demon Paw. Holy fuck, that thing is nuts. Regardless, though, I digress. Devil Jin's tracking, because he has Laser Scraper, it's such an effective tool that can be used at any play, or any level of play, is used at all levels of play, is fantastic for keeping opponents in check. The threat of the Demon Paw at the very end prevents people from jab punishing you. Unless you are throwing Laser Scraper out consistently, then, you know, without ending the string, then people are going to catch on and be like, oh, he's done this 3 times where he's only done the first 2 hits. Let me try squeaking a jab punish in there, and then they get you, and then you have to mix your timing up a little bit. You know, don't just do the second hit, or just do the first hit. Most of the time, you just want to do the first hit. But that's all you need because it tracks both directions very, very consistently, as you saw. And as you can see, on hit, it is -1 only. So, -1, not so bad. You basically just reset the neutral after you hit them with back forward 2, or the first hit of Laser Scraper. So, he doesn't have a lot of tracking tools in the neutral compared to other characters, but compared to Kazuya, his tracking tools aren't too bad. This is Devil Jin's standing 4. It's his go-to homing move, in my opinion. Most people are going to use this to do homing, to catch people stepping, just an easy mode way of catching people stepping. Really good move. Wall splats and is +10, so it's fantastic for that. At the wall, it's a really dangerous tool to use at the wall, in case people are trying to get out of the wall. Get away from the wall, they're going to sidestep you. This is a great way to catch them and then re-wall splat them. But I would stick to Laser Scraper in the neutral, honestly, because it's just another poke. It's faster than standing 4 with 17 frame to impact is kind of slow. And it's a high, whereas Laser Scraper's a mid, so always go with the mid choice. A move with Devil Jin that I think is very overlooked is this one right here, up forward 2. You get a guaranteed steel pedal if it connects. It's a homing move, it's a high, it's 20 frames to impact, 23 frames at tip range, which is pretty shit. But even on block, it's completely safe on block. It's only -4 on block. So Devilgen still has options after this move comes out. And if it connects, he gets a guaranteed steel pedal. On normal hit. Normal hit. It's not just a counter hit scenario. This is all normal hit shit. So I think people should use up forward 2 more. It's got a decent, it's decent. It's decent on block, it's amazing on hit, and it's a homing move. It's high, it's slow, so that it has some detriments to it, but between Laser Scraper and up forward 2, and standing 4 at the wall, Devilgen has some pretty solid tracking. Much, much better than Kazuya's, in my opinion. Alright, let's discuss their heat a little bit. So, Kazuya has some pretty sick shit in heat. Kazuya has 442 extension for Devil Fist, and the Devil Fist actually tracks more when he's in heat than it does when he's out of heat. It actually tracks more to his weak side, like I said. It tracks more to sidestep left, sidewalk left. Well, not to sidewalk left, but it tracks more sidestep left. We already discussed that earlier. Fantastic fucking move. His Demon Paw becomes the best Demon Paw in the game next to Reyna's when he's in heat. So, fucking awesome Demon Paw extension for that reason. The Hell Sweep extension, Heaven's Gate. Kinda bullshit. Sure, it sets up the laser, which does 20 damage. You're gonna eat the laser if you back roll. So you have to side roll on the floor to avoid the laser and then stand up straight. That's pretty much it for his heat shit. There's not a whole lot of additions to Kazuya that make his heat all that good. He's got Shikue, which is, 1+4. Cool, I guess. Devilgen has this exact concept, minus the fact that it actually hits. This will hit at decent range. So it's got about the same range that Kazuya's jab has. One of the worst jabs in the game. Right, so it's not like it hits from crazy far away, but it's got more range than Devilgen's back 2+4, his armor move parry. But Devilgen can do that anytime he wants, and Kazuya can only do this. Look how much fucking heat bar this takes away. I get 2 of these from full heat. I get 2, and it takes away like 2/3 of my fucking heat bar. It's crazy. It's insane. So yeah, this is a great move because it's a power crush, and it hits you from somewhat further away than a normal parry does, but it still acts like a parry. It's a good move. It's fantastic against the wall, against somebody who just eats Heaven's Gate at the wall, and they're just laying on the ground. Or if you think they're going to side roll, you can't go for the down back 1-2 tech. So you'll just go for Shikue, which covers a lot of ground. It tracks pretty well to both sides, this move. And, so if they're side rolling, then you'll probably hit them with that. But honestly, just go for this shit at the wall because it's a guaranteed setup if they don't move at all. So a lot of players will just lay there and do their thing, and down back 1-2 will kill them for it. Down back 1-2 is definitely Kazuya's go-to tool in heat. This is pretty much the only thing you're ever going to want to go for besides the heat extension for his Demon Paw. This shit. So you'll go for that, and then when you're almost out of heat, you'll do down back 1-2. Sometimes you'll do just a regular Demon Paw into a heat dash, into combos. Yeah, so Demon Paw does, or Devil Fist does pretty decent damage with a full combo if you go into it with a heat dash, but honestly, it's the go-to tool you're going to use in heat in tandem with down back 1-2. It's a solid fucking move, and in heat, I mean, guaranteed stomp after for 50 damage if it connects, or guaranteed forward, Demon Steel Pedal into follow-up. You can get a whole bunch of good shit after that move connects. So that's his best go-to heat tool, is down back 1-2 at pretty much any point, because it's 13 frames to impact, +5 on block. I think it's +18 at the wall with chip damage. Yeah, +18 at the wall. So Kazuya gets +18 at the wall, and look at that chip damage. So he does 20 damage just in chip whenever he goes in to do this. Plus, he gets smacked against the wall, which doesn't register. It's an extra 5 points of damage, so you get 25 points of chip damage into massive Okazemi. And then at the wall, Kazuya gets this shit, which is really solid. If they're not stepping you here, you get 21 point or plus 21 at the wall for the charged up down forward 3-2-1, or you get that. If they try to sidestep you and you just let it rip automatically. So, you know, in heat, Kazuya is pretty fucking scary at the wall. One of the strongest wall characters in the game by far is Kazuya, I think. So, well, I'm not even going to argue there. Kazuya has a much better wall game than Devil Jin does. Devil Jin's wall game is still solid. He's got Laser Scraper, he's got down back 2 to keep them in check, he has Electric, and he's got Charge down back 1+2. You can vary the timing on that move. It tracks really well to sidestep left. It whiffs on sidestep right, but if you time it appropriately, it'll even catch them on sidestepping right. So, and then it guard breaks if they let you fully charge it and they just stand there, which a lot of the time they do because it's a great Oki tool and it has fantastic setups for it. So, charge down back 1+2 is Devil Jin's equivalent to this move. So yeah, both monster characters at the wall. Kazuya has down back 1-2, which is just so fucking solid. And for that reason, his heat is insanely strong, in my opinion. Plus, you have this extension. The Heaven's Gate shit is great for floor breaks. Doesn't really have a lot of utility in combos anymore because they nerfed the damage now, which is fucking stupid. What the hell were they thinking with that? They tried to nerf Devil Jin and they ended up fucking over Kazuya as well. So, talking about Devil Jin in heat now a little bit, he's got this shit, which is, I think, is his equivalent to Kazuya's down back 1-2. Now, you can get 2 more electrics for that combo, but he's got some pretty decent shit there with back 2-3. The difference is this move actually launches and down back 1-2 doesn't. This is 14 frames, down back 1-2 is 13 frames. This starts with a high, down back 1-2 starts with a mid. This move against the wall doesn't provide as much chip damage, but it's still pretty freaking scary at the wall. He's still got his crazy heat smash that's nowhere near as good anymore. So basically range 4 is the limit to this thing. I'd say 3.95 this heat smash hits from. The tracking is pretty much gone though, right? So if I record the movement here and then have Devil Jin do it, I can just leisurely sidewalk it or sidestep it to either direction, and it can clip me if I try to sidewalk it to the left, but only if my timing of my sidestep is really bad. Just a standard sidestep right will dodge this every time. Sidestep left, it doesn't track as well to sidestep right as it does sidestep left, but it still tracks somewhat to both sides. Very, very little, though. It's no longer even remotely homing. So it's still a great heat smash. That's the furthest away hitting heat smash in the game. Still does 52 damage. Still wall breaks. It's still a good fucking move. It's still 18 frames to impact, or 18 frames startup. So it can hit you at 18 frames, which is not that slow for a heat smash. Kazuya's heat smash is 20 frames to impact. If you're just going heat burst into heat smash with Kazuya, please stop doing that. You're only detrimenting yourself. You're losing your entire heat bar for 43 fucking damage, and 3/4 of that is recoverable. So by the time all is said and done, you'll probably receive maybe 16 fucking guaranteed damage if they're able to recover all that health back. One heat engager connected from your opponent onto you will regenerate all that fucking health that they just lost on that recoverable health bar there. So This is not a good heat smash. It's great because it's a low. That's the only reason it's good. The range is pretty shit. One single backdash is all you can afford. Well, even one backdash and you don't even connect to this every time. It's fucking ridiculous. So this heat smash is pretty shit. Got no range. The tracking is pretty decent, so at least it's good for that. But all in all, Deviljin still has the much better heat smash of the two. It does more damage and it just does more things. It has far more utility. It even low crushes. This doesn't crush anything. To go along with Kazuya's character, evasive properties is something he's completely missing in his game plan. So what's the verdict here? Deviljin has a better heat smash than Kazuya in my opinion. But Kazuya has better tools in heat, in my opinion as well. I think Kazuya's down back 1-2 and his Devil Fist heat extender are two reasons why he has slightly better heat than Deviljin does in this game. I think Deviljin has fantastic heat. He's got back 2-3, he's got Demon Paw as well, he has a great heat smash still, and he has this shit, like I said, which is actually a fucking fantastic move. It's like a second heat smash again, and then he has his extensions with CD1+2, it at least launches, so it can be mixed with Hell Sweep here. It's a decent addition for his heat, but he doesn't have a whole lot of additional heat moves. Like, Deviljin and Kazuya are actually quite shit when it comes to things they give them while they're in heat. They don't really have a lot of interesting additions. I mean, yeah, Deviljin has some cool lasers and a heat smash that's nuts, and Kazuya gets a couple of extensions to his already provided moves when he's not in heat, but neither of their heat modes are all that impressive, and they're nothing to write home about. Deviljin's best heat attack is this, I think, and or obviously Demon Paw, you know, for an easy mode combo, all that kind of shit. Kazuya has the same type of stuff with down back 1-2 and his Devil Fist, but in general, I think Kazuya has slightly better heat than Deviljin does. Down back 1-2 and heat is fucking awesome. The Devil Fist increased tracking and added property that it's given in heat gives it a little bit more of an edge over Deviljin's Demon Paw, I think. So when Deviljin had his superior heat smash, his heat was far and away better than Kazuya's, but now with the nerfed heat smash, he's relying more on heat dashes, and he just doesn't have a whole lot of heat dash ability that's all that impressive compared to some of the other characters in the game. Him and Kazuya are quite similar, but I have to give this one to Kazuya if I'm being real. I gotta be fucking real here, and I gotta be objective. Just gonna lay out a few more really quick notes here. I have Oki, wall game, combo damage, and hitbox consistency. We pretty much discussed all of that stuff already in this video. I don't want to rehash or reiterate anything. It's already a long enough fucking video. I think Oki is pretty cut and dry. These two are fucking Oki monsters. Deviljin has fucking insane Oki setups. Kazuya has insane Oki in general. I think the Oki slightly favors Kazuya in this game, in the current state that he's in. Again, back when Deviljin had his better heat smash, he could do Oki shit from across the stage that was guaranteed in homing. And now he doesn't have that ability anymore, so I think the Oki is now more heavily swayed in Kazuya's favor. Wall game, I think Kazuya's a little bit stronger than Deviljin at the wall as well. I already showed a little bit earlier why that is. Down 4, 3, 2, 1. Charged at the wall is pretty strong. Jab check, forward 4, down back 4. You can always hell sweep them if you really want. That kind of stuff. This for some high crush evasion, down back, or down 1+2 for high crush evasion. That kind of stuff. So at the wall, Kazuya's pretty strong. Deviljin has some cool shit. He's got, the laser scraper to keep people in check. He has a down forward 1. That's another great thing to have. He can keep them in check with this stuff. Even down forward 1 even hits a little bit on the ground. He's got his broken plate still. Down 3, it's +1 on, or it's -1 on hit, so it's not the greatest. But he also has this shit. You don't have to knock them down with his hell sweep. You can just gain plus frames if you really wanted to. This high crushes, so he's pretty strong at the wall, and then keep them in check with laser scraper. The other thing that he can do, like the down back 1+2 charge, if you charge it up all the way, it wall splats for some insane damage. If I can fucking do it, man, my execution is so shit today. There you go, crazy fucking damage at the wall, that's all guaranteed. It's similar shit to what I was saying about Kazuya's down forward 3-2 charge 1. Vary the timing on this, and you will yield some insanely awesome results. So, and of course, they both have electrics at the wall. So at the wall, they're very comparable, but I think a slight edge favors Kazuya just because of the tools that he has at his disposal compared to Devil Jin. So when it comes to combo damage, Devil Jin has consistent combo damage, and it's definitely better than Kazuya's, and it's a lot easier to get the damage with Devil Jin than it is with Kazuya, because Devil Jin doesn't have a whole lot in terms of hitbox issues. The only hitbox issue I've seen is this shit at the wall. The 4 will often whiff at the wall, so they should fix that. That's a bit of a hitbox issue. He goes slightly off axis, and you just whiff the 4, and then if you're in heat, you whiff the laser as well, and then they just kill you. So it's really not a fucking ideal scenario for Devil Jin. But besides that, he really doesn't have many hitbox issues besides that, and obviously his jab is terrible. So his jab is trash. But Kazuya has a lot more hitbox issues. We can discuss that in a second, but I already made an entire video about his hitbox issues, so really, just go watch that video, click the fucking button up here, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So, watch the fucking video, see exactly why Kazuya is so shit. But Devil Jin's combo damage is pretty consistent, and it's pretty easy. You just run in, do an electric, and this is the kind of shit you're gonna do. Pretty easy mode combo. This is 92 damage once it's all said and done. 92 damage is not even optimal. That's a very standard, basic, straightforward combo with Devil Jin. Kazuya, you have to work a little bit harder because you have to do 2 electrics. And then you go into heat. And then you get 83 damage typically, right? Unless you're doing something a little more technical like this. That requires a little more from you, but it's 85 damage. So you have 2 electrics and the 3-1 cancel, and then you have to end the combo with a running 3 just to get the utmost damage you possibly can from a heat dash, and Kazuya gets 85 damage. The only way you can increase that is if you do 3 electrics, which you need to be slightly to sidestep right to do. Holy fuck, I don't even want to talk about how long it took me to land that fucking combo, but there you go. 88 damage Kazuya gets when he works his fucking ass off, and it's super inconsistent because the hitbox of down forward 1 sucks ass. So Devil Jin gets 92 damage with pretty much no effort, and Kazuya gets 88 damage when he works his fucking ass off. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty much cut and dry. You do not have an argument here. Devil Jin has far superior combo damage, and as far as consistency goes, we'll put a final thing here for, whatever the fuck, down there for consistency and hitbox issues. Devil Jin wins that one too, because he has none. If you want to see all the hitbox issues Kazuya has with his back 2, his standing 3, his down forward 1, his jab, his heat burst, his Heaven's Gate extension, and his twin pistons initial fucking first hit, then just watch the first video, the video I referenced earlier for Kazuya and how he deserves a left arm in this game. Really, at the end of the day, I think Devil Jin is a stronger character. I think he wins this outright because he has more utility in the neutral, he has no hitbox issues, his combo damage is consistent, and yeah, he lacks power mids. His heat is suboptimal for what it should be. I think his heat smash should be buffed a little bit. It got a little bit too over-nerfed. Kazuya is fine in terms of heat. He's slightly stronger than Devil Jin against the wall, I think. But in the neutral, he's fucked because he has virtually no poking. Sidewalk left destroys Kazuya, and guess what? In this game, sidesteps and sidewalking in this game are significantly buffed compared to how they were in Tekken 7. So if you have a character that's very weak to sidewalk left, they're going to be even more weak in this game because they're so strong. Sidewalking and sidesteps are so strong now. It's always going to be situational. You're always going to have moments in the game where you feel like Kazuya is stronger than Devil Jin and vice versa. But I think as a complete package for what they are and how their toolkits work for the character, Devil Jin, in my opinion, is a more optimized character than Kazuya at the moment. A lot of that has to do with his hitbox issues. The fact that Kazuya's shit whiffs on a regular basis when he's just trying to do a combo, the fact that his combo damage is shit compared to most of the cast, when in reality, Kazuya should be hitting the hardest in the game, if not second or third hardest like he was in Tekken 7. You had Geese, Akuma, and Marduk, who hit harder than Kazuya. He was the 4th hardest hitting character in the fucking game at the end of that game. Devil Jin's damage isn't supposed to be as high as Kazuya's, but it's higher than Kazuya's in this game. He's easier to use than Kazuya. I don't know, I think in general Devil Jin is a superior character, but very minimally. Like, they're both garbage tier. I want to end the video now by saying this. These are the 2 weakest characters in the game in my opinion. You can throw Claudio down in there as well if you want, and yeah, you could say maybe Paul's pretty weak too, but he's got some crazy fucking damage. So it's hard for me to put Paul down there with these guys as well, but I don't know. For the execution demand that these 2 characters require, they should be getting a lot more quality of life qualities to them. They should be more abundant, but there's hardly anything. You get hardly any bang for your buck when it comes to these characters. You're putting in all this fucking time practicing wave dashes, electrics, you know, instant while standing 2s, all this important shit you need to know. Even Hell Sweep requires some execution. Hell Sweep's not immediately doable. You have to be, you know, very on point to do consistent, very fast, non-readable Hell Sweeps. So all this stuff that these characters have requires execution. And there's no reward for all that practice and all that time that you put into the characters. So if you're a Devil Jin main or a Kazuya main, you're not eating very well in Tekken 8 currently as of patch 1.0.4. But of these 2 characters, I gotta say Devil Jin seems to be a little stronger in general. And I have the fucking win-loss ratio listed above for how many points each character got. And I think it's pretty fair to say that the things that I think Kazuya excels at, I noted quite thoroughly in this video. And the things that I think Devil Jin excels at are more abundant than the things Kazuya is good at. So, if you disagree, obviously start a discussion in the comments. Of these 2 shitty characters, who do you think is eating the bigger shit sandwich? I think it's Kazuya. Mostly because of the hitbox issues. If you fixed those, if he no longer had a whipping down forward 1, or standing 3, or back 2, in his combos, or his jab was better. You know, the jab needs to be buffed on both these characters, but what I'm saying is hitboxes in general are trash with Kazuya. If his hitboxes were consistent like Devil Jin's, I think Kazuya would be stronger than Devil Jin right now, without any buffs at all. The reason I think Kazuya is so weak is because consistency is key in Tekken. And you've got a character with massive hitbox issues for his combos. You have a character who requires insane execution, which means the consistency isn't always going to be there, because you're not going to land every electric you attempt. It's just a fact. That's just fucking physics. And on top of that, his damage is shit. So, you have an inconsistent character with shit damage versus a consistent character with slightly better damage. Still not the greatest damage, but, I mean, to me, that's cut and dry. Add Kazuya's consistency to him, and then you're in a better position with Kazuya. But for now, when his hitboxes are still so bad, you cannot argue that Devil Jin's weaker than Kazuya. At least he's consistent. And that's truly the key in Tekken. That's the reason why you don't see too many Mishimas in the top 8 of most big tournaments, is because they're inconsistent characters. You need to hit the electric every fucking time if you're gonna get a whiff punish. And if you drop the electric once, it could literally mean that costed you the match. Whereas you're never gonna drop it down forward 2, you're never gonna drop a hop kick. That's shit's super, super easy to do. So, at the end of the day, these characters both suck. But Kazuya sucks a little bit more because he's literally coded in a shitty manner right now. He just doesn't work as a character. So, yes, both awesome characters. I love these characters. I will continue to play them until the day I die. I've been playing Kazuya for 30 fucking years. I've been playing Deviljin since 2009. Since Tekken 6, I've been meaning Deviljin. He was my added secondary with Heihachi. Although Heihachi I've been playing almost as long as Kazuya. I fucking miss that guy. I want him to come back so bad. I hope he's DLC, like the black-haired young version of Heihachi. Since he's dead, they should be able to add that version of Heihachi in his DLC, I think. That'd be so fucking sick. But anyways, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Am I wrong? Do you have arguments to demonstrate otherwise? I don't know, I put a lot of time into this video. I've seen a lot of evidence to sway my opinion more in favor of Deviljin here. Maybe you guys know differently. Anyways, subscribe, like, comment. I appreciate your time, and sorry for the long-ass video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Keep rocking out and keep gaming.